This tutorial will show how to emphasize text or whole sentences in the book. Go to Structure, Text Formatting, and there are three ways to emphasize text. One is actually called emphasize text, and it should be used to show that something is important. The other one is italic, and it should be used to show that something is unusual. And if you like to emphasize a whole sentence or even more than a sentence and you want that it is indented on both sides, then please use the quote environment. Emphasize and italic work a little bit differently. You will see that in the video, which is only relevant if you have not marked the words correctly and you have to correct it. One word about consistency. There are many more ways to emphasize text in looks. Please use only these three ones. This way the book will be consistent. Not everything will look good at this point. That is not a problem because I will later on change the italics environment to, for example, make it a little stronger, and might change the emphasize environment to change the color. You will see that in the video. I'm here in my document and I want to write something else. If I click return, you see another item shows up. I don't want that. I want regular text, so I change it to standard and write here, this word is important. And the other one is, this word is unusual. And I want to have the word important emphasized, so I mark it. And please note that I didn't mark it correctly because I forgot to mark the letters N and T. We will correct this error later on. I go here on that bottom here, the one with the little screwdriver and the A, and say toggle emphasis. And it's not easy to see, but the letters import are actually in italics. And that means it's emphasized. If I want to set a word actually in italics because I think it's unusual, I mark the word here, and again I mark it not correctly. I forget purposely the letters AL, and I go here to the font environment. It says text style, and I choose here under shape, that would be this. I choose that one as italic, and then I either say apply or OK. I say here OK, and the text is in italic also, although it's difficult to see. Well, there is a way to see it, and that is the LaTeX source window. It shows actually the code that is written when we format something, and we can see here this word is emphasized, but only the word letters importa, but not the NT. How can we correct that? Well, you might think we just mark the whole word. We do that here, we mark the whole word and just click on don't emphasize, but what happens then is, see, the first letters are not emphasized here while the last ones are. So the only way is to see what went wrong here in the source window, and I can see I have to include the letter importa to make it the whole word important. Click here and now you see it's okay. Italics works a little bit different. I can easily, because italics is not in toggle mode, I can easily go here to the font environment. Italic is still chosen. If it's like this, I would have to choose it. And now I say OK, and you see the whole word is in italics. That's something you have to take care of a little bit. It's a little bit inconvenient, but if, first of all, it will not happen often that a word is not correctly marked, and in a worst case scenario, I can repair that for you also. What if we don't see the LaTeX source video? Well, maybe it looks like this. Then you can go to View, and view source, and here it is. How can we quote text? This text should be quoted, and I make it a little bit more text by just copying and pasting it. That's enough, and I can also correct by right-clicking on the word should. There's a spell check again, right-click, should, and I don't correct it for the rest. So this one I would like to have in quote environment, so I go here, standard, and I find the quote environment, here it is, not quotation, quote, and mark it, and it's here. Now I want to keep writing. This is normal text. Problem is it's still quoted. So what I do here is I change the environment back to standard, and I have normal text here. How does that look like? If I translate the document, the book shows up. It's a complete book. I go to the chapter that I was interested in, competitive markets, and you can see here this word is important, is in that case in red boldface. I might change that later on if I don't like it. And this word is unusual, is in italics. Also, I might use the form to make it a little stronger in the final text. And then you say here, this text should be quoted. It is indented on both sides, and then the normal text comes again.